You've decided you are going to consult, and you're wondering what exactly does this entail? Project consulting, project management consulting, whatever you want to call it, is one of the quickest ways of you gaining employment, securing opportunities for you to make money. It's that simple. Now, it's different from the traditional jobs that many of us just go for, in that you become a lot more responsible for things like taxes, your health insurance, and so on. But today I wanted to take time out to walk you through and give you some ideas. I've been working as a project consultant for going to 15 years. I started off, of course, in my career by doing regular jobs, but a point came where I was not able to find regular employment. So I started working as a consultant. I started working on an hourly basis, and it allowed me a lot of flexibility and leeway, and I've learned a lot along the way. In addition to working as a project consultant and contractor, I've also worked as a trainer, offering training as a registered education provider of the PMI for over a decade. Praizion is a company I formed. We are no longer registered education providers, but we still provide project management training, coaching, and education in leadership, communications, and project management. So what exactly is project management consulting? Usually it's a contract with a fixed duration, billed hourly, and sometimes with a not to exceed value. For example, one of the employments that I got, one of the contracts, it specifically stated no more than 40 hours a week. And a lot of the contracts have that clause. Others allow you to do overtime. It offers a lot of opportunity to you as a PMP to expand your horizons. The contract is usually to offer project management services, and those could be scheduling, costing projects, scoping projects. So they're bringing you in as an expert to do these things: project controls, risk management, procurement, and all the other areas of knowledge, communications, and so on. And this also includes Agile these days. A lot of the contracts that are out there are for Agile roles, like a Scrum Master, a Product Owner, or team. The only caveat there for some of you is that they want you to show years and years of experience. So if you don't have those years of experience, it could be tough breaking into certain jobs or certain roles. And there's so many different things you could do. It could be an open-ended contract, it could be a closed contract, but the opportunities are endless. The scope of work is tightly defined as in other jobs, but they really make it clear what they're looking for you to do. This is you coming in as a hired gun, so you better have your chops. If it's scheduling, you better have Microsoft Project on lock. If it's scope, you better have a WBS on lock. If it's things like procurement, you better know your contract types and be ready to roll up your sleeves and negotiate. So whatever they're bringing you in to do, you better make sure that you are right up there in terms of those knowledge areas and proficiencies, because they'll hassle you if you don't. You can actually find yourself being asked to leave and they bring someone else in. So you want to make sure you got all of those ducks in a row. Now let's talk about the pros of project consulting. One of the pros is the flow of work. There's never really a dull moment, especially if you've got your pipelines going, you've got those recruiters who are on your team, as I did, positioned to just keep that pipeline going. I mean, it was amazing. I would finish one contract and I would have another one waiting. I'd have multiple offers waiting. So the flow of work is undeniable. Very interesting opportunities on ending options. It's a quick way of building a ton of experience. So you've got this PMP, you got these certifications, whatever it is that you've got, but then you've got an open gateway for you to learn in so many different industries and very rapidly, because when they bring you on the job, they know they have to teach you their company. They know they need to teach you their business unit and their structure so that you can add value. So you end up learning so much about so many different companies, especially if you've done it as long as I have. You learn a ton of stuff. You're able to build new networks. You're also able to get insights into new industries. However, there are concerns, as with every other job, there are concerns, but there are solutions. So the concerns are you need a very tough persona because you are coming in like a hired gun that's an outsider. Sometimes you're looked at as the charger, right? The one who charges the card, the one who's always running up the bill, right? But you need a tough persona to deal with that and just laugh at any jokes that are made in that regard. The tax responsibilities are yours, and you could have the Uncle Sam blues. If you don't have a good tax accountant, you will find this hard. So my recommendation to you is for you to find a very proficient and honest and knowledgeable tax accountant like mine. My tax accountant is awesome. I rely on him for a lot of business advice, especially on the tax side. He's just amazing. So if you do not have your Everett, that's his name, my accountant Everett, he's phenomenal. You find yours and you will be extremely glad you did, because they'll show you all the loopholes, but you got to find a really good person to do that. Healthcare options may be limited in some of these jobs, so you want to make sure you ask all the questions, make sure that you are covered, make sure that if you've got any pre-existing conditions, those are addressed up front. As far as, does this cover pre-existing conditions? You want to make sure so you don't fall into a pit with this whole healthcare thing. You might need to do research, as I did, for private options. A lot of times you work for a company, but there are no healthcare options. My advice would be for you to bargain this in with the recruiting agency. Usually it's through a recruiting agency that you get the contract, and the recruiting agents, because they've got so many people affiliated with their company, they have plans that you could buy into. But sometimes you don't have those plans, and the health care options might be limited. You may need to shop around yourself, but that's okay. They're out there. It's just that there are a number of crummy plans. They're really hopeless. They're no good. So if you want to make sure you're really covered well, do your research as much as possible. And I would say if you're thinking of consulting, being a project management consultant, now's the time for you to begin looking. So it needs careful consideration, okay? But there are solutions. First one, you got to toughen up, right? Have a tough persona. Ignore the negativity. Ignore the negativity again. If jokes are made that you're racking up these huge bills because of your fees, like some of us, we charge quite a pretty penny per hour, but just ignore that because you know the value you're bringing, right? Be organized, document, learn, document stuff about taxes, do your research, and like I said, get a very proficient tax accountant on your team. Do your research when it comes to healthcare, select the very best opportunities, and just spend the right amount of time selecting and researching. Now, as I told you in the very beginning, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've also been coaching, training, and helping people who want to do this. And I do this through this entity called the projectleadershipinstitute.com. If you go to projectleadershipinstitute.com, you can sign up for 60 professional development units so that along the lines of being coached and mentored into your career, you're also getting your PDUs. We help you with resume building, job search advice. We have weekly coaching and mentoring, brainstorming, quarterly seminars. John C. Maxwell, who we call America's leadership guru, has a ton of content that we train on leadership, communications, and interpersonal skills. So if this is something you're thinking of, my friends, just go on down to projectleadershipinstitute.com. If you're looking for one-stop, very effective training, coaching, and mentoring to take you to that next level, this is where you need to be. All right, Project Leadership Institute. So, my friends, I hope this gave you some insights. If you got any questions I can answer for you about consulting, contracting that you want me to answer, put them in the comments below. Like I told you, I've done a lot of this stuff, and I can definitely give you insights to move you forward. Thank you very much. And all the best in your job search, whatever you're working on.